Collinwood at the turn of the century is a place of violent conflicts. The evil Count Potoffy has taken over Quentin Collins's body, and to prevent Angelique from helping the real Quentin, who is trapped in his, has taken her prisoner. But now Angelique has escaped, and on this night, Potoffy's servant Aristide will believe that the pits of darkness have opened and sent a dead man forth.
Something? Something?
Help me. Help me. No. No.
Well, you're still up, I hear.
How's Kitty?
She remembers nothing that happened here when you returned. The first thing she remembers is lying on her bed and crying, an overwhelming sense of loss.
Oh?
Why did this have to happen again? What makes it happen?
I may have the answer.
What are you talking about? What have you got there?
A diary, rather faithfully kept in the 18th century by a family servant named Ben Stokes.
And what has that got to do with Kitty?
Ben Stokes wasn't an ordinary servant. He worked for Barnabas Collins.
Barnabas Collins. Barnabas Collins is dead. Will we never be rid of him?
No. Dead or not, his shadow continues to fall on many people in this house, including Kitty Soames.
Barnabas has nothing to do with Kitty.
Are you so sure about that?
Well, of course I'm sure.
Edward, you think I'm talking nonsense? Very well. You think what you want, but listen.
Very well, I'll listen.
Ben Stokes writes that Barnabas Collins was in love with an heiress named Josette from Martinique, but she rejected him.
I'm sorry, Quentin, but I don't see what this has to do with Kitty.
It has everything to do with Kitty. Kitty, somehow, is reliving that thwarted romance. And at times, she actually becomes Josette.
Now, this makes no sense.
Now, doesn't it? Why is Kitty constantly being drawn to Barnabas's portrait? And why did she go to Jeremiah Collins's grave, the man Josette married? And why did Kitty appear in Josette's wedding gown? And why also did she demand Barnabas's ring? And then wake up with a sense of loss immediately after the fact that we said that Barnabas was dead in his coffin, Edward.
Because Gerald Soames is dead and Kitty is grieving for him.
Don't you think her grief is rather excessive?
Not at all, not under the circumstances.
Oh, what circumstances?
You never saw them together. They were a devoted couple. Their romance is something out of a storybook. What are you laughing about?
If you believe that, you do believe in storybooks.
I don't think you're in a position to judge, Quentin. You never saw them together and you never knew Gerald.
Do I need to? I know Kitty, and she's far from a storybook heroine.
That's enough, Quentin.
All I mean is that Kitty Soames is a practical, down-to-earth woman. Exactly what you need, for many reasons. But Josette Collins is someone none of us need, Edward.
Forget about Josette Collins.
I can't as long as she's part of Kitty. Edward, as long as this battle goes on between them unchecked, Kitty can die.
Die?
Yes, die. Josette becomes stronger and Kitty becomes weaker. Until finally, Kitty is completely gone, and in that body, Josette will live again.
Kitty will die, and Josette will live again.
Yes.
Now understand this, Quentin, and understand it clearly. If I ever hear that you've shown that diary to Kitty, or any of your wild-eyed nonsense, I'm going to see to it personally that you're thrown out of this house.
Edward! Edward! Ah, you fool. Hello.
Mr. Edward Collins,
He's gone to bed.
would you wake him?
I will not. I
Look.
am not here to run and deliver messages.
I don't know who you are, but I'm Dr. Ian Reed.
Good.
A strange man just stumbled into my office asking for Edward Collins.
Strange man. Who is he?
I don't know. He collapsed as soon as he got here, and he hasn't revived.
What does he look like?
Tall, thin, dark hair.
Tall, thin, and dark hair?
sick. Look, whoever you are, I must impress on you.
You have impressed me, Doctor. I'm Quentin Collins. Believe me, I'll take care of the matter immediately.
Where is Edward Collins?
I told you that I would take care of the matter. Where is he?
Do you know him?
Yes. Leave us alone.
Mr. Collins, I can't leave you alone with him. He's still unconscious.
I said go.
Look, you may be in the habit of running Collinswood and Collinsport, but in this dispensary, I run things here, and nobody tells me what to do.
Where am I?
You're in my office. You're perfectly safe.
How did I get here?
That's exactly what I would like to know.
Are you Edward Collins?
Am I what?
Edward Collins. I asked for Edward Collins.
This is Quentin Collins. Don't you know him?
No, I don't.
Now, these are lies he's telling.
Don't use that tone on this man. He's very sick, and I don't like
And
it.
I don't like you, my dear man, interfering in my business. Now get out.
I told you before, you can't talk to me in that tone.
Now he's out of the room. You can open your eyes. Now, I don't know what you did or how you did it. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going to kill you.
Mr. Collins, drop that gun.
Dr. Reed, I don't think you realize what's going on
I said
here.
drop that gun. What do you have against this man? He's never seen you before. Have you seen him?
No, he hasn't.
And don't upset yourself. I called Mr. Edward Collins again, and I got him this time. He'll be over in a few minutes. In the meantime, you're quite safe here. If he tries to harm you again, he'll have to shoot me first.
Dr. Reed.
In here, Mr. Collins.
Come on in, Edward.
No, it can't be.
Who is this man? What is it there about him that makes you all so peculiar?
He's a distant relative of ours, one we didn't expect to see again. Could we be alone with him, please?
Yes, Mr. Collins. I think I can trust you.
This man is dead. We know he's dead, don't we?
I saw him in his coffin.
Then how can he be here?
I don't know.
You know what we must do.
Yes.
Why are you pointing that gun at me?
You know who you are, and so do we.
You know nothing about me. I am a stranger here. How could you know anything of me?
A stranger?
Yes. I came from England first.
When?
I can't remember. After everything that's happened here.
What has happened?
Oh, nothing happened. He's just trying to fool you again. But he's not going to get away with it.
Fool you again. I've never seen either of you before.
Let's finish him off now.
Now, wait a minute.
Now what?
Dr. Reed is standing outside this door. If you shoot him now, he'll swear that we've killed an innocent man.
I don't care what Dr. Reed thinks.
In a few minutes, it will be dawn. When the time comes, we'll be able to prove that he's not as innocent as he says he is.
All right, Edward. What do you have in mind?
In a few minutes, it will be dawn. And when it is, we'll be able to prove to Dr. Reed, just as I told you, that he is not as innocent as he claims.
I am innocent. I tell you.
You don't have to tell us anything now. But in a few minutes, you may have a good deal to explain.
If you're still alive when dawn comes.
The sun is risen.
Thank God.
Why?
Perhaps now you'll listen to me. Who I am and what has happened.
I don't care.
Wait a minute, Quentin. He's lived through dawn. He's not the man we thought he was. I don't know who he is, but I'm going to find out. Now, who are you?
My name is Barnabas Collins.
What?
It's an old family name. My ancestors came from Collinsport, so I came here.
Came from where?
From England at first. And then in Boston, in a newspaper, I read about Edward and Judith and Quentin Collins. So I came here.
I don't believe him.
Now be quiet. Let the man speak.
I would rather not.
What do you mean?
This part of the story is so horrible it terrifies me to tell it.
What happened, my boy?
I came to Collinsport, and as I set out for this house, I met him.
Him? Who was he?
I don't know. I don't know.
What did he look like?
Exactly like me.
Exactly like you?
Yes. I saw him first very suddenly in the dark woods. And as he came close to me, I could see the terrible cruelty in his face and need to destroy. But from that night on, he tried to destroy me.
How?
By putting me under some sort of thrall. I could do nothing. I could remember nothing from that night on, except when he would come to me every now and then, approaching me in the same manner, with his mouth open wide, and two terrible fangs in his mouth.
I don't believe a word he's saying.
Now, wait a minute. It's well past dawn, and he's still alive.
It's a trick! Look, there are no marks on his neck.
It's a miracle, then.
What?
Perhaps it's true.
What is true?
He's gone. He's finished with me. He's never really going to come back to me anymore.
He is finished with you.
Yes. How do you know?
He's dead.
Dead?
Yes, dead.
Edward, wait a minute. Come here, you fool. Now, what are you doing telling me that the creature's dead? Do you know what that means? That you actually believe that he's the vampire's victim and not the vampire. Well, I don't.
Incredible as it sounds, it could have happened.
And if it didn't, and if he's lying, what then, Edward? What then?
You're right, Quentin. I've been ready to accept him too easily.
All right. Let me finish him off right now.
No, not quite yet. There is one way that we can test him. One more way. We can give him... It'll take more than words, though, for him to prove it.
What do you mean?
We can go to the cave where Barnabas Collins' coffin is, the three of us together, and we will look in the coffin.
No.
What do you mean, no?
But I went to the cave, I saw the body. I brought you the ring, Edward.
Yes, but you were there before this man went to Dr. Reed. I think we must look another time now.
I think he's too weak to go to the cave.
Nevertheless, we must take him anyway. Now get up.
What's going on here? This man is in no condition.
Dr. Reed, I will assume full responsibility for this man.
I don't think you realize how ill he is. He may not live through what you have in mind for
You're
him.
quite right. He may not. Are you willing to come with us?
Yes, I'm willing.
Very well. No matter what happens, I'm no longer responsible. I'm finished with this whole peculiar business and well rid of it.
Look, the door is open.
You stay here. I'll see if there's any trouble. Stay with me. Aristide. Aristide.
What's going on? What have you found?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except that.
His story was pathetic, but you're right. I accepted it too easily. Put that gun to his heart. Right to his heart. If that coffin is empty, you fire. God, what's going on here? What's going on?